Dove, the flight story of a wounded bird. A peaceful, dense forest, where sunlight filtered through the leaves every morning, and the air echoed with sweet bird song. In this forest lived a white dove named Neer. Neer wasn't an ordinary bird. He was known for his majestic wings, fearless flights, and love for freedom. His feathers shimmered in sunlight, and when he soared through the skies, it felt as if the heavens themselves acknowledged his presence. Young birds tried to follow his path, elders told stories of his grace, and Neer proudly said, "My flight is my identity. If I can't fly, I'm not alive." But life, as it often does, had a different plan. It was a golden morning. Neer was dancing with the clouds, soaring higher and higher. Suddenly, a shot echoed through the forest, a hunter's bullet. It struck Neer's right wing. He spiraled down, crashing into the forest floor. He was wounded, helpless, broken. The birds who admired him vanished, some out of fear, some out of helplessness. A haunting silence surrounded him. Then came a tiny squirrel, named Chikki. Chikki was small, fragile, and couldn't fly. But what she had was a big heart, full of kindness and courage. Without a word, she built a soft bed of leaves around Neer. Every day, she brought seeds from far away, fetched water drop by drop, and covered Neer's wounds with soft grass to shield him from the cold. One day, Neer whispered, "Why are you helping me? I can't fly anymore. I'm useless." Chikki smiled and gently replied, "Friendship isn't a transaction, Neer. Whether you fly or not, you are still you. And that's enough." For the first time, tears rolled from Neer's eyes. He realized, true friendship needs no wings, no strength, only heart. Days turned into weeks. Slowly, Neer's wings began to heal. Each morning, he tried flapping them a little more. And Chikki, always by his side, would cheer him on. "Just a bit more. You'll fly again, even higher than before." Then came the day. The morning breeze was soft, the sunlight gentle. Neer spread his wings wide, and took off. He flew high, but this time, there was no pride, only humility, gratitude, and joy. He looked down and saw Chikki sitting on a branch, smiling. Neer flew back to her, and said, "I fly again, because you didn't give up on me. This isn't just my flight, it's ours." Chikki giggled and replied, "We all fall, Neer. But when someone holds us during our fall, that fall becomes a new beginning." From that day on, Neer never flew to conquer the skies, he flew with purpose, emotion, and thankfulness. Seedling moral of the story. Our greatest strength isn't in our wings, but in those who lift us when we fall. True friendship asks for nothing, no return, no reason, only love, loyalty, and presence.
The Promise of the Tree, a Silent Friendship. A peaceful little village in northern India, Dharmapur, where the morning sunlight first touched the temple bells and evenings whisper through rustling leaves. At the heart of this village stood a grand, ancient peepal tree, more than 100 years old. Time itself seemed to rest under its shade. Children played around its roots, women dried papas beneath its branches, and old men recited the Ramayana while sitting against its massive trunk. Some villagers would just close their eyes and sit quietly beneath it, like laying their head in the lap of a dear old friend. Among the villagers lived a quiet, thoughtful 12-year-old boy, Arav. He was different from others, observant, shy, and deep. He didn't talk much, except with the tree. Every day after school, he would come straight to the tree, open his notebook, and sit there doing his homework. Sometimes, he'd pat the roots and whisper, "Mom scolded me today. You understand, right?" And the wind would blow gently, as if the tree had heard his heart. When Arav was gravely ill as a toddler, his mother had brought him to rest under the tree. Doctors had said his heartbeat was fading and they might not be able to save him. But when the breeze passed through the leaves and touched his cheeks, he had smiled for the first time in days. His mother always said, "This tree gave you back your life, my son." One day, the government announced that a new road would be constructed through the village. Everyone was happy. The dream of connecting to the city was finally coming true. But there was a problem. The planned road ran straight through the heart of the village, and that tree. This tree must go, the government engineer said, cold and expressionless. Some villagers whispered among themselves, "It's just a tree, not a temple or a house." Others stayed silent, knowing that no words would matter. But one little boy refused to remain quiet. The next morning, Ada walked straight to the engineer, holding his sketchbook, filled with drawings of the tree in every season. He said, "Sir, this tree is my oldest friend. It listens to me, comforts me. When no one understands me, it does. If you cut it down, I'll have no one left." The engineer chuckled. "Your tree listens to you." Ada smiled softly and said, "Yes, when I say nothing, it still hears everything. Every leaf says something. You just have to be silent enough to listen." The engineer paused. For the first time, a child had explained to him the language of stillness. The next day, when the workers came to cut the tree, they found something unexpected. The entire village stood around the tree, old men, women, children, and farmers. No slogans, no protests, just silence, and eyes filled with emotion, history, and love. The engineer stood still, deeply moved. After a few moments, he took a breath and said, "We'll change the road's direction. The tree stays." The village broke into applause. Ada ran forward and hugged the tree tightly, and for the first time, the branches swayed like they were smiling with joy. That evening, Ada sat again by the roots, resting his head against the bark. He whispered, "I kept my promise, my friend. You'll stay forever now, right?" A breeze gently passed through the leaves, and they rustled softly, like an old friend saying, "Yes, I'll always be here. As long as your innocents lives, I live." Moral of the story: some friendships speak not through words, but through silence. Trees aren't just wood. They are living memories, protectors of childhood, silent listeners of pain and joy. And sometimes, the biggest battles are fought inside the heart of a child, and won with love, not force. If you like the story, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories. See you in the next video. Thank you.